Hey guys, welcome to a tutorial from Team RGP, here for all your basic Unix needs. So basically we're going to get started. Hopefully you all downloaded the PuTTY terminal that is required for all the tutorials that we're going to be running through. If you haven't downloaded it, I would advise you to go back to tutorial 1, and we have a step-by-step guide there on how to go about installing it. And also for you Mac users, you guys can use your own terminal application on Macs. So for those of you who are downloaded PuTTY, here it is, putty.exe. This is the icon right here. So go ahead and click that. This is a standard scan that usually you get when you run it. Run, then find the server, a bunch of the servers, but we're going to be using Gibson, the server that I'm going to connect to. Load that and open. Alright, so now first you're going to log into your server. Obviously you want to have your own credential, your own username and password. Okay, so now we're in gibson.rat.edu. So the first matter of business that we discussed in the tutorial is the ls command. So for the ls command, pretty much, like we mentioned, it's just do a listing of all the files where you are. So if you just do an ls, simply you get a listing of all the files. We also mentioned about a long listing that we wanted to do. There's a type of flags that you can put with the ls command itself. If you need any more syntax on that related to that, you can refer to our glossary. There's a link in the page on it. So you can go ls-l. That gives us a long listing, like we mentioned. It gives us the permissions. It gives us the username for the who the files belong to. Obviously, it's all on my server. Gives me the modification date, gives me the size and all that. So I mean, you can see size is all size is all here, modification date right here, name of the file, and my permissions right here. So basically that's what we have for the ls command. Next we talk about the cd command. Now these two commands together, ls and cd, will be utilized probably every single time you're on a Unix box. You will never ever not use ls or cd. You will always use them. So let's say I have ls command, so I'll do a listing of the files. Now I want to go into, let's say, www file. So I just simply do cd space and the name of the directory that I want to get into. Now how do I know that's a directory? Well, simply when we do our long listing, everything that has a D in front of it, as you see right here, everything that has a D right in front of it, these are all directories. D would obviously in front of it stand for the directories, and the other permissions we'll get to when we get to the tutorial on permissions. So we know it's a directory. So I know I can go into that directory. So I just do cd, the name of the directory, as we see here, www is a directory. So we go www, enter. Now I'm in. Now how do I look at the files of that? I do a listing of the files. Another ls command. There are the files in that directory. So that's pretty much where we're going with these two commands, ls and cd. As you can see, it's a whole chain of ls and cds that you're going to be utilizing when on a Unix machine. Now, how do I go back? What if I wanted to go back to the root or the high structure that my account is allowed to go to? So simply, how do I do that? Is that I just do cd dot dot. Now that tells my server that I'm going to go back up one level, and that's going to take us back one level, which means that we're going to go back to all of these files again. We're going to see these files, and we can always check that no matter what. So we do the cd dot dot like we did, and we'll hit enter. Now I do a long listing, and I'm back again where I started. Then I can move into another directory. So we said back up here, for example, we see midterm is a directory. So we'll go cd midterm and do a long listing. And then there's a file in there. So let's say if I went into, let's see if I can find, I go back, cd dot dot. Now let's say I wanted to go into two directories. Well, simply if you go into a double directory, you just do cd dot dot slash dot dot, so on and so forth, with how many levels that you want to go back. So, for example, let's see, if I go back into my www, and then we do ls again, you see that I have a directory here called images. Now what happens if I do it? Now how do I check and see first if that's a directory? ls-l again, and I go here, and we notice that images is a directory with a D in front of it. So I'll do cd images, because I want to change directory to images. So now I'm in images, I want to see what's in it, so do a long ls. Now we're 2 levels deep from where we started when we logged onto the server. How do I go back? cd ... /... That will take me back, and now if I do a long listing, you'll see where we're back from where we started. That's pretty much it. And also, if you want to make it organized, you don't want to keep looking at the bottom of the screen, you can do a clear. It's something minor get into, so you're always back. It's just a habit because sometimes the screen gets cluttered with a bunch of text. So that's a good, useful tool to know. So that does it for the cd and the ls command, and we'll move on to tutorial 3, where we'll start getting into permissions. See you then.